biggest mistake that treasury teams are making today, this is obviously one that opinions may vary considerably, but what I see typically in a younger, inexperienced treasury organization is a lot of focus on what's going on in the market, how they feel about the trading environment, and letting that dictate whether they, hedge fully or hedge less than 100%. And I think it takes some time and experience and heartbreak to know and figure out that you don't know what's going to happen in the market. And the best way to focus your time and energy is to focus on, the hedging process and eliminating sources of noise within your hedging process. Yeah, so our biggest competitor is Microsoft Excel. And depending on the size of the organization, somebody that really knows what they're doing can use Microsoft Excel. The problem is with the limited dimensionality with Microsoft Excel. When you have multiple entities, multiple currencies, multiple lines of business, all these kinds of things, it pretty quickly overwhelms what Excel is capable of and honestly what it was designed to do. The most obvious red flag to us that somebody's not using the latest technology is that they cannot explain the results to the people that are in turn explaining those results to Wall Street. If you know the right process to use to hedge foreign exchange, then you can put in place a technology that will allow you to measure every single step of the process and determine every little piece of noise that's entering into the equation, which is summarily one of forecast error. But many people today, we affectionately call it, they do surgery with a machete, and they just don't have a scalpel in their tool bag that they can use in order to stamp out and understand all the sources of noise. Well, I think just more and more AI agents will take the place of what was previously done by individuals in their very monotonous and non-value added activities, such as local currency forecasting for intercompany entities. I don't think anybody feels like that's really going to make or break a particular quarter of earnings, nor does it make or break a particular company in terms of strategic advancement. The first thing is that more often than not, you still have to convert foreign currencies into dollars or vice versa. Like a lot of companies, when they're just starting out, their method to handle FX risk is they have a euro subsidiary that needs to make payroll. So they send a bunch of dollars to a bank, convert it to euros, and they make payroll. So that conversion, that spot conversion, needs to happen regardless if you're actually managing FX risk or not. We call that more of FX risk observation and not FX risk mitigation. FX risk mitigation comes into play when you start putting forward contracts in place that incorporate some of your forecasted transactions that are going to happen within your corporate company. A lot of times these are either trade transactions, trade means to the end customer, or intercompany transactions, which would be, like a European-based sales entity is performing services on behalf of a US-based corporate parent. So both of these kind of transactions are known and repeated. And the question is, are you just going to let those kinds of transactions occur and only deal with them sort of reactively, or are you going to be proactive and put forward contracts in place in order to mitigate the risk that those transactions present? You're going to end up having to do the conversion one way or the other. And it's our very strong opinion that the companies with developed FX risk management programs are proactive in terms of managing that transactional risk.